Hi everyone, welcome back. I failed to sell this rig that I was trying to sell off because I have to cancel the sale. And why do I have to cancel the sale? Because of my own failing for not checking in detail enough. It was actually a fully functional rig. I mean, I've tested the CPU, tested the graphics card, but I did not test it in detail enough. So what actually went wrong? Well, the first thing is that I assumed that the Intel 10th generation Core i9-10900KF is strong enough when paired with an Intel Arc A750. Now I have used the i5 for the 10th gen paired with 3060 before, and it was sufficiently powerful, so I thought this is an i9, so it should be more than enough to power to go on with the A750, of which I also remember to have the performance level of a 3060. And believe it or not, I actually even benchmarked it. I got the numbers. So this is what it looks like. And to me, it looks like, well, it gets pretty much that's where the A750 is, but I was wrong. I did not cross-check the number with what I had in the past or benchmarks that other people did. I just assumed that, well, this is such an old card. Strangely, I kept thinking that the i9 was strong enough, but yet I also thought that the A750 here is old enough to get those kind of rookie 1080p numbers, but this is not the case. So I tested the A750 on my actual benchmark gaming rig, which is the one we're using, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D, and guess what? The numbers were totally different. The outcome was like 50% to even more than 100% of the original numbers that I got from this rig. So what went wrong? So unfortunately, it was my mistake when I tested it. I assumed that something like this, which is using an ASRock Z490 Steel Legend, which I thought is just, I mean, currently is what, 800 series motherboard. This is 4 series motherboard, so I thought it's fairly recent enough to have resizable bar enabled by default. So I went into the BIOS to check, and to my horror, the resizable bar option was not enabled, and so I did. And guess what? The numbers came out exactly what I expected for the Cyberpunk 2077 game at 1080p with the settings I tested. No fancy stuff, just pure rasterization. Exactly the numbers I wanted. But for the rest of the games like Assassin's Creed Mirage, 10% ish, and then the rest like Horizon Zero Dawn and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, some 20% away from my intended target for this GPU. So with that, in the end, I've decided not to sell the system because, well, the performance is not up to what I expected. At least not selling it in this configuration. It might work better with 3060, NVIDIA RTX 3060, or an AMD RX 6600. I have an RX 6600 which I tested. Do I remember the number? Seems alright, so I may just pair it with that. But that aside, I mean, I could actually sell it as a system that does 4040p, which I think the gap would have narrowed. But looking at the numbers, I don't think I would recommend this for a 1440p gaming system. Either way, this thing is off the shelf for now. But if you're interested to get this rig or one that pair with this kind, you don't mind the bottleneck, if I may say so myself, then sure, why not? Just drop me a contact. And speaking of that, since we are talking about this rig, it's actually using a Cooling Master Sub-Zero ML360 liquid cooler. You know, the special thing that can make it idle at below zero. That will be one of my upcoming videos, since this rig is with me right now. I'm gonna manage to make some content out of it. I did not get I'm going on another tangent right now. The I/O was not usable for a while, but I finally found a motherboard that can actually use it, so it's there right now. Alright, back to this video. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful. So if you're a seller, make sure you remember to test your system, especially when it comes to this kind of performance. I usually do that, at least to make sure everything is running, but I am on the wrong assumption that this one will fully will be able to power this one to get the full performance. Apparently it does not. So with that, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Do remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and come back for more content, especially on this AIO, which I'm declaring it now, so I have to get the content up and running. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.